One instructional change that you can make is cooperative learning. Um, the key to it is the correct pairings of students. First time I had students work together, it didn't go well. Um, had read that you had to really design the groupings such that the students complement each other and so forth, and I didn't believe it. So I just left students where they where they had seated themselves at the start of class. Well, it didn't go well. A lot of students had sat next to their friends, so at the point when they should have been working, they'd be sitting there visiting. Maybe two students would be sitting next to each other, and they're both weak in algebra, and they couldn't help each other. The idea of this learning is not to make yourself work harder. The idea is that the instructor should have to do very little during this learning activity. If you do the correct pairings, then you can have a student with stronger algebra skills paired with one with weaker algebra skills. And then that they're able to help that one with the weaker algebra skills. Sometimes the student just needs to hear it differently. They don't need to hear you say it the same way you said it the first time. They just need it taught maybe by a different person. Now you do have some problems here. You have students who don't really understand the material that are possibly explaining it to somebody else. But overall, I found if I did the pairings correctly, that it was very successful. Now, you have to decide based upon the class what are the correct pairings. I rearranged the class many times in the pilot I did, trying to come up with ones that worked best with each other. I had one student who was just very outgoing and very good in algebra, and she was fantastic. I paired her with various people, depending upon if I saw that they were struggling in a particular area. I'd put her with them. The different ways I used this method is one of them was immediate work. This is where you give them work at the very beginning of class. Now I didn't do this in my pilot course, but I did in another class. And this allows them to immediately be engaged in the class, and also gives them reason to be there on time, because they know there's work that they're going to have to do, that they're going to have to turn in. And you can have them work by themselves with that immediate work. But then you got the problem, they don't understand, so they're calling you over for help and so forth. And all of a sudden you find yourself going back and forth between maybe 10 or 12 different people. By the correct pairings, you paired them with people that can actually help them. So you're doing all the things you need to do, take attendance, pass back papers, and so forth, and they're immediately engaged. The another method to try is try it now problems. As you're going through the class period, these new courses, these new accelerated courses, were having 6 clock hours per week, so you have the time to allow them to try the problems and see if they get it. I wish I had this time in my college algebra class. I've introduced some try it now problems, but for the most part, I don't have a whole lot of spare time to have them work on these problems. And that was one of the big pushes for the new accelerated classes. Is we have that additional class time. The try it now is just putting a problem up on the board and they try it. You could have them work it by themselves if you wanted to, or you could have them work in pairs or groups of 3, whatever's appropriate to your situation. You have to decide that yourself. One thing I did learn in the try it now problems is you do not wait until the slowest group finishes, because then your groups that have went ahead and successfully done the problem or problems, depending upon if you give them more than one, they'll get bored and they'll start wandering around and become unfocused and so forth. The another option is this is the very easiest instructional technique you can change and very successful, is you can have the students do homework at the end of class. Now, important part on that is that your homework be paper-based, or you pass out worksheets of some sort. Now, there are a few classrooms that do have computers in them, so you may be in one of those classrooms, in which case you could have them sign on to My Math Lab and work on the homework there. But Working on homework at the end of class, again, I would not have them work individually on that. I would have them, even if you want separate homework for individual, I would have homework that they work as a group, whether that's 2 or 3 or however many. What you'll find is that it will make your life a lot easier. You won't sit there and be bouncing back and forth between 10 and 15 people, and it'll make everybody improve their math skills. The student with weaker skills will get better. The student with stronger skills, it seems like, well, I've had some of them, it's just like they don't want to participate. It's like, well, I know this. Why do I have to be involved with this? I thought I was good at algebra, but I didn't realize how much my skill level would increase until I started teaching. When you explain it to somebody else, that's when your skill level goes up even more. So those students that think they know it real well, you can even increase their skills. So cooperative learning works across the board and helping all the people in the class. Not to mention makes your life easier in a lot of cases.